Hello and welcome to the Healing Streams Reflection. The title for today's post is True Son of a True Father. Beloved, even if you lacked role models, God wants to help you guide your son on his journey. God wants to complete the parts of us that are incomplete so we can become the man we were created to be. That's our hope as Christ followers, trying to be dads. Not that we have it all together. We don't. Not that we know what to do next. Our hope is that we are being fathered, and from that place, we are able to father. This, I believe, is the deepest hunger of every man's soul for connection with his father. But of course, our faith tells us that the father-son relationship is the deepest relationship in the universe. Jesus is so close to his Father that they are one. And that was the secret of his life, the power from which all his ministry flowed. There is a journey every man must take to become a man. There are stages every man must go through, just as King David did, in order to become a man of a true strength, wisdom, and character, and to engage life as a man. God intended that every boy, every young man, have a father to take him on this journey. But many of us didn't. I didn't. When I was young, I didn't get anything like what I am offering others today. I lost my father to alcoholism, and I was left alone to figure life out. Most of us men were, in one way or another. Maybe your dad divorced your mom and never offered you much sense. Maybe you never even knew your dad, or maybe he checked out emotionally or spent all his time at work. Regardless of the reason, what we have now is a world of unfinished, uninitiated men, unanswered boys walking around in men's bodies. It's not how our Creator made it to be. And that brings us to the hope of the gospel. God presents himself to us as a loving Father. He wants to come and father us. Wherever we are in our journey, this is at the heart of all Jesus' teaching. Take the parable of the prodigal son. It's really a parable about the Father's love for us. As Luke 15:20 declares, that while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Luke 15:20. This is how your father feels about you. Or take Jesus' teaching about the Father's goodness. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone, or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? None of us will do that. Of course not. Jesus goes on, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? Jesus is speaking to one of our greatest doubts and saying this: you have a Father who cares deeply about you. He really does. And he isn't out to deceive or manipulate you. He wants to father you. So this is your hope. No matter what we get or didn't get from our fathers, our journey isn't over. Our true Father wants to provide what we need, fill in the gaps from the earlier stages of our journey that no one led us through, and then take us forward into what He planned for us. All this begins with willingness on our part to be fathered by looking to Him as Father, not just as the God who deserves our worship and allegiance, and by acknowledging ourselves as sons who still very much need initiation. It begins with a simple question: Father, will you initiate me? And then expecting Him to answer the question, what do you want to give me? What do you want to teach me? Whatever else His answer to our questions might be, it will always include an expression of His love for us. Let me explain why. Before the cowboy stage comes the first stage of boyhood, that of being a son. When Kujo was younger, he had an important question that needed answering before any other. Do you delight in me? Am I the apple of your eye? Every little boy first needs to know that his father adores him. That's the key question during the initial stage of the masculine journey. The time of knowing you are the beloved son. It lays a foundation for the trials and battles that will come later. Remember when Jesus was baptized, when He came up out of the water, the Father had to let it be known to all, this is my dearly beloved Son, who brings me great joy. Matthew 3:17. My dearly loved Son. Now, if Jesus needed to hear those words from His Father, can you imagine how much more we need them? Most of us never really knew we were a beloved son. Perhaps you feel abandoned or rejected by your dad, or think that you were a disappointment. But this is the hope of your faith. God comes as your true Father to tell you how much He adores you and takes joy in you. This is the first thing you need to accept. You are the beloved son. No matter how old you are, your Father can then take you into that next stage of initiation if you never experience it. So you'll be ready for what comes next. God wants to complete the parts of us that are incomplete so we can become the man we were created to be. And so we can offer this to our sons and other young men He puts in our lives. So here I am with a box full of kayak parts. Once again wondering, do I have what it takes? I know God is in this for me as well as for Koju. I think I can do this, but I know that as we do it together, God is going to be fathering me as I am fathering Koju. That's our hope as Christ followers, trying to be dads. Not that we have it all together, we don't. Not that we know what to do next. Our hope is that we are being fathered, and from that place, we are able to father. In fact, this kayak idea was an answer to prayer. I wanted something to do with Kweju, but to make this year special, I prayed about it a lot, and this idea came to mind. I am trying to be intentional as a dad to provide my sons with what they need to develop the kind of masculine courage, integrity, and faith that you see in a man. like King David and Jesus. I'm trying to make sure they know they are the beloved son and that they do have what it takes. We are climbing mountains together. We've gone on mission trips. They join us as elk hunting. They are learning how to fast and pray. It takes courage on my part. It takes risk. I have to engage. But here is the good news. I'm not doing this on my own, even though I didn't have a father to show me the way. I do now. It's such an enormous relief to know that I am actually not alone, having to figure out life by myself. Neither are you. Jesus says, if anyone loves me, he will obey my teaching. My Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. John 14:23. Beloved, you have a Father who loves you. You are his own. You are not on your own. Thanks for listening. And may the good Lord richly bless you.